Hey everybody, it's the second blog, or well, vlog, not blog. So, thought I'd just share some things that happened in my day today. Okay, so my first hour, these two girls are talking, they're like right here, I'm like right here, I'm next to them, so I'm hearing what they're talking about. This one girl's talking about, I don't know, something with her boyfriend, I don't know, she's like, well, I was eating and he called me and he said something about how food is more important to me than him, and she was fat. So, I found that kind of funny. But then the second girl walks up. So these two girls are talking. The second girl just walks up, and they just, go like instantly quiet. Like they didn't want her to hear what was going on. And she just says something, just like out of the blue, something about her car. And these two girls just kind of look at each other, and they're like, what the fuck does she want with us? Like, this girl had to be an outcast to these chicks or something, because she had no impact on them walking up. Like, they wanted nothing to do with her. Okay, so then I got to my second hour, and that's Kim. So we were working with hydrochloric acid. We were making hydrogen gas. So the chemistry teacher's up at the front of the room, and she's got this big beaker. It's a real big one, and she's reaching forward, putting something in it. And as she's pulling it back, she knocks down a vial of hydrochloric acid, and it goes like all the way down the front of her, like down to her feet. And the whole classroom just got dead silent, because we knew that stuff burns. And she just was as calm as she could be. She just pointed over to the corner and she said, get the baking soda. And she pointed to me, out of all people in the room, like I wasn't even towards this corner. And she pointed to me and she said, go get me some towels. And as I'm doing that, like I go over to the cupboard in the corner, right? And one of the doors is locked. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get some towels, because she's burning up there, because she's gotta get that stuff off. And she had to take her clothes off, because she had to get that off, because that was burning her. And, I'm freaking out, because, like, she told me to get it, and I'd feel bad if I didn't get up there in time, and she's, like, standing up there half naked in front of the class. So, one of the doors is locked, right? So I tried the other door, and it's locked. And I give it this huge tug, and I don't know if I broke the lock or what, but I got it open. And I get in there, and I'm digging around with my hand, and I pull out something that feels like a towel, and it's like a little dish rag, it's nothing. And I throw that to the side, and she's like, hurry up, come on, I'm burning up here, and I'm digging back through there, and back in the corner I feel a towel. I pull it out, now it comes like 6 towels, right? And I take like 3 of them, and I take them up front, and she's like already taking her pants off, right? And I'm like, God, this is so weird. And the whole class is still just dead silent, just looking up front. She gets her pants off, she wraps up in a towel, and then just so calmly, she's like, okay, so the point of that story, and then she goes back to what she was teaching. Like, don't you think you'd at least go rinse it off? I mean, you just spilled acid on your genitals, down your legs. I mean, you could be, like, infertile for the rest of your life. If I was a man, I'd be freaking out that I would have no nuts left after that stuff got done burning through me. I don't know. She just seemed a little crazy with that. Okay, so then my third hour. I get to third hour, it's Spanish. I'm like, okay, what weird's gonna happen in here? So, she's got a sink in her room, because it used to be a science room. So, she's got a sink in there, and this sewer gas comes up through it, and it makes the whole class stink. It just smells so bad. So, Dakota, one of my friends, turns the sink on to get the water running so that you can't smell the gas, because it keeps the gas down. And apparently, there was a stopper in the sink, and it had floated over to the middle and went down in the bottom of the sink, and, it was filling up with water. And then just out of the middle of nowhere, you can hear water pouring over the side of the sink into the room. And he freaks out, and he turns it off, and there's still just water coming out of the wood base underneath it. Like, that base had to be soaked. So, like, that whole corner of the room was just covered in water. Like, that whole half of the room just had to get up and move to the back of the other side. And he said, he was literally probably this far from the sink. And he said he could not hear water hitting water. Like, what? You know how when you run the sink, you can hear water hitting the porcelain or, the tile or whatever it's running onto? And then the water that sound, or the sound that it makes, like when you run water and it hits a puddle of water? Yeah, he said he couldn't hear that. Okay, so then I have lunch and everything, and I get to my 5th hour. My 5th hour is AP World History. So, we're watching a movie. I thought it was going to be pretty boring. It's a movie about a printing press. And they're talking about how you can remember things through pictures and how you can remember things that you want to remember and not others. And he pauses the movie, and he's like, so you guys can remember song lyrics pretty easy, right? And everybody's like, well, yeah, of course. And he's like, so you guys can remember song lyrics better than you can remember my lectures, right? Everybody says, well, yeah. And he just says, you guys are all dickheads. Like, what? What kind of teacher says that to their class, you know? I mean, somebody could probably file harassment charges or something against him. I don't know, but I've never heard a teacher talk like that to his class. I mean, you know he didn't mean it. I love that guy. I mean, he's like one of the best teachers in the school. He has fun with teaching. You know, I mean, he just makes it an enjoyable experience. But seriously, who calls their class dickheads? I mean, what kind of teaching is that? Like, what kind of message does that send to your students? Okay, anyway, well, that was my day. I thought it was kind of eventful in a little bit of a funny way. I went to school. I was tired. I was bored. I didn't think anything eventful was going to happen. But then as soon as I got into first hour, and those chicks just completely blew off that other chick and just made her feel like a piece of crap, you know, that just kind of started my day off good. I like seeing other people get hurt. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but, you know, when something like that happens, it's funny. It's just so hard not to laugh. Anyway, I got some homework to get to, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.